Welcome back, True Seeker. It is Saturday, July 13th, 2024. The early reports saying that they believe it is a gunshot that Trump mostly avoided it clipping his ear. And they're saying that somebody behind him in the gallery of people there at the rally, somebody behind him they believe was shot. So that's what they're reporting both on CNN and Fox, that this was a near assassination. They're bringing on guests, and guests are saying that he's very lucky to be alive right now. We've been talking about for a while the significance of how RFK Jr. got in the race and why it mattered that he got in April 5th, 2023, when he did, in light of his father being assassinated in 68 and his uncle being assassinated in 63. And why it mattered that he got in the race officially 144 days after the Superior General's birthday, when his father died at 1:44 a.m. and his uncle died 144 days from meeting with the Pope, and how this year's election on November 5th is 144 days after Trump's birthday. Plus now the Pope and Biden met on Trump's birthday this year, 144 days for the election. But we've been talking about how this goes back to the Secret Service being created on 14/4, the day that Lincoln was assassinated. And we've also been talking about why it matters that Trump is 78 years old in light of the history of the Kennedy family and the Kennedy curse. And again, it can be a little bit challenging to keep it all straight, but at the same time, the patterns are just so redundant. And again, I can't even decide where to start this stream, because the other thing that's happened today is here we are on the date that we circled at the beginning of the year. Again, we always circle the one date on each month. This month it's July 13th, and next month it's August 12th, and September 11th, and October 10th, and November 9th, and December 8th. But all of these dates have something in common in terms of their numerology and their numbers that are connected to death and killing, and they're the numbers that show up all throughout history in the presidential assassinations and deaths. And again, here's this date. In yesterday's live streams, I was saying, remember, tomorrow's the kill date. It's the date that suspicious deaths happen in the world of celebrity. We're going to talk about what happened with Richard Simmons in this stream as well. And he's the fitness guru. And Dr. Ruth, the sex guru, they're both dead in the same news cycle. Both announced dead today on the kill date. They're saying Richard Simmons died today. They're saying Ruth died yesterday. And she died on Richard Simmons' birthday. He's just dead out of nowhere one day after his birthday. We're going to talk about how a lot of people got killed in Palestine today, and Netanyahu's just kind of shrugging his shoulders about it. And how all of these stories fit together, how they just fit in so perfectly with today in light of understanding what's really going on in the world. People need to understand the occult, the things that the occult are into, numbers, numerology. It is so important to what is going on in the world every day. If you're aware of this, you can so often see what type of events are going to happen before they happen. So, all right, let's go through this bit by bit. Let's start off with something really simple. Here's where I should have actually started. They're automatically comparing this to the assassination attempt on Ronald Reagan in 1981 before Reagan won re-election in 84. Again, he won the first time in 80. After taking office in 81, there was an assassination attempt on Reagan March 30th. Okay, March 30th. Think about that date, 3/30. If you add 3 plus 30, it's 33. Reagan was the 33rd governor of California. 33 is a very special number to the Scottish Rite of Freemasonry, which has its headquarters in D.C., known as the Masonic City. Again, there's 33 columns on the outside, each 33 pillars tall. So Reagan's assassination attempt had a lot to do with 33. And today, July 13th, the majority of the world writes today 13/7, a lot like 137, which is the 33rd prime number. And again, in Gematria, Washington, D.C. equals 137, government 137, White House 137. Fox News already saying this is another really political win for Trump. This is going to inspire a lot of people to come out and vote for him. So you have this 33 parallel with him and Reagan. Reagan, again, the 33rd governor of California, who was in films in Hollywood, just like Trump. Now, this guy would know how to do a blood pact. Actually, but just before I went live, I heard the Fox News coverage. They said they believe that the blood on Trump might have actually come from a Secret Service agent. You know how when these stories break, they're just throwing out all kinds of stuff. They brought on a guy to talk about how perfect the Secret Service response was. It's just all these talking heads, all this information. Again, it's just like, just stick to the numbers. And you'll realize they're pulling off rituals and numbers on us day after day. But we've talked about how since 2016, Trump had the assassination attempt reportedly in Nevada, November 5th, 2016, 3 days before the election in 2008. So this is way back, or I just misspoke. November 5th, 2016, 3 days before the election on November 8th that year. Trump had an assassination scare in Nevada. And we were pointing out how this year the election's on that date, November 5th. And funny enough, today, the day of this shooting, it's 115 days to November 5th. In Gematria, the word killing equates to 115. Again, we're going to talk about Gematria. You pair that with the numerology, you see how the calendar and the language have been synced up, and it's very obvious who did it. Again, the same gang that gave us the calendar and the language, the Jesuits. And of course, Donald Trump's part of that fraternity. He went to Fordham, the Jesuit University in New York. But, and don't forget, Trump took office with the 115th Congress back in 2017, the 115th Congress. Trump was called president-elect while he was on 248 electoral votes in the early hours of November 9th, 119. Now we have the upcoming 119th Congress. If Trump wins re-election, he'll take office with the 119th Congress while the country's 248 years old. Remember, in Gematria, President Donald Trump equals 248. Manhattan Criminal Court, 248. They literally gave Trump a break from court on the Illuminati's 248th birthday, May 1st, so that he could go campaign. Again, the Illuminati founded by the Jesuit Adam Weishaupt. It all goes back to the Jesuits. But, and don't forget, Lincoln blamed the American Civil War on the Jesuits. But okay, with regards to RFK, we started with the RFK, JFK, 144, Trump, the upcoming election, 144 days after his birthday. We started with this parallel. The anniversary of RFK being shot is June 5th, which is the same day Ronald Reagan died in history. And hold on, I'm going to come back to the Butler thing. This is what I meant to show. June 5th, the anniversary of Reagan's death and this assassination attempt today, it's 38 days later. Again, 38 is a very fateful number, but it's a number with a lot of meaning. We're going to talk about how Netanyahu is shrugging his shoulders about killing a bunch of people in Palestine 38 weeks after his birthday, on the nose, and Dr. Ruth being dead 38 days after her birthday, in the media covering how she was in the war that began just before Israel officially became a state. She was in the war that began in 47 and is reportedly 4 feet 7 inches tall. Anyway, Trump's running on agenda 47. Anyhow, this 38 number, it's a number of death and killing. When JFK was announced dead by Walter Cronkite says, some 38 minutes ago, when he announced that JFK was dead. In Gematria, the words death, murder, killing, RIP, they all equal 38. But the word election is also 38. And remember, Trump was removed from the ballot in Colorado, the 38th state. Colorado has Gematria 38. If you missed our work on Trump getting reinstated in Colorado, which we saw coming from the day that it was announced that he was taken off, there was so much 38 in it, including the Supreme Court putting out the feeler on the 38th day of the year that they were going to begin looking at reinstating Trump on the Colorado ballot. But if you go back and look, when he was removed from the ballot, there was a shooting reportedly at the court, the state Supreme Court. Somebody shot up the building. They said they did it in the after hours when the building was closed, but they filled it up with bullet holes. And we pointed out how that shooting was exactly 44 weeks before November 5th. And again, the word shooting itself equals 44. JFK was the 44th term U.S. president. Again, the first president to die in office, Harrison, he died on April 4th, like MLK was assassinated on that day. You go through all the U.S. presidential assassinations in history, they all come back to this number 44. So now the attempt on Trump on the 44 date numerology today. But again, remember the nation's capital, D.C., on the 38th parallel north, the federal city. The word energy is 38, like English, like Gematria, like Kabbalah. This whole thing comes from Kabbalah. The practice of coding numbers into words is Gematria. There's a song, Gematria, the killing name. Killing has the Gematria 38, just like murder, like death, like RIP again. So 38 days after Reagan's death anniversary, this parallel to Reagan, and we just mentioned the 33 part. I forgot to mention that Reagan was the 40th U.S. president, and this town of Butler, which is just outside of Pittsburgh, is on the 40th parallel north. And there's something interesting about it being close to the Steelers and football season getting underway and the way they continually script sports and politics together. I mean, look at what they're doing tonight in UFC. In UFC tonight, if you haven't noticed, Dana White, the head of the UFC, is going to introduce Trump at the GOP convention, which is in Milwaukee this week. And then the headliner tonight is a woman named Rose, who's got the who's from Milwaukee, Wisconsin, where the convention is going to be. And then just days later, Trump will speak, and Dana White will be introducing him. And Trump's recently been at several UFC fights. Again, they bring all these popular culture things together to get people invested in it. You know, those types of things are polarizing. Some people hate UFC. They're probably more likely to vote Democrat. Makes them like Trump even less. People who like Trump probably like some UFC, vote red. They like it even more. They know exactly how to play this populace. You know, it's just like they've been cultivating us. But anyway, Butler, where this happened, having the gematria of 78. We've been making a big point about this. Again, the name Kennedy equals 78. The name Cleveland equals 78. These things matter because Trump had his 2016 convention in Cleveland. The only split-term president in U.S. history was Grover Cleveland. Kennedy, they had the assassination scares. Trump's already gone through some weird assassination and death stuff. There was the Trump tombstone in Central Park the first time around. Again, the scare on November 5th in Nevada. You know, the Simpsons predictive programming. We've been talking about the Marilyn Manson thing. Marilyn Manson from the Church of Satan. The first year that Trump won, he put out the video. You say God, I say Satan. But in that music video, there's assassination of Trump. He gets shot in the head in the music video. Again, it matters that Marilyn Manson's in the Church of Satan, and that song was about you say God, I say Satan, because, again, Satan in Gematria equals 55 like God. That's how old Marilyn Manson is right now. And Trump's runs on mega, which is the highest degree of the Church of Satan is mega. And then what's undeniable is that if you go back to April 30th, 2011, the White House Correspondents' Dinner, Obama joked that night with Trump in attendance that he would be number 45. And that joke was told on the 45th birthday of the Church of Satan, 45 days before Trump's birthday that year. And then you just see all the 45 stuff they do with him just nonstop. I mean, just recently, the Giuliani thing, 45 days after his birthday, doesn't get the bankruptcy plan. The trial where he's found guilty 45 days after it began with the 45 judge with a 45-year-old Stormy Daniels, 45 days from his ex-wife's death anniversary, who died 45 years after their marriage. On and on and on. You can see that these people are part of a sick show, and it is all waged by numbers. So that's why it's not surprising that we have this obvious ritual. But again, this 78 thing, Kennedy 78. The other thing is Trump. That terminology is associated with tarot cards. There's 78 tarot cards in the deck. The top 22 cards, they're the Trump cards. The remaining 56 cards are the lesser arcana. The election this year is on a day special to the Jesuits, Guy Fawkes Day, the day they tried to blow up British Parliament in a political act. But that's the day leaving 56 days left in the year. It's 115. It's like how the first caucus this year in Iowa was January 15th, 115, and Trump supposedly got 56% of the vote. But yeah, don't forget, Biden took office at age 78, Jesuit educated as well, like Trump. When the Pope was 78, Beau Biden died at age 46 before, again, Biden elected 46, exactly 46 weeks after the Pope's birthday, when the last Catholic president, JFK, was killed at 46, and Catholic equals 46, and Trump, the second Bush, and Clinton are all born in 46. 46 books in the Catholic Old Testament, all tarot cards going back to Italy. The oldest decks definitely go back past Italy, but again, it's just the oldest remaining tarot deck goes back to Italy in light of all roads leading to Rome. It's because they destroyed everyone else's history. They only want you to know their story. That's the one with Jesus. But yeah, it's just so obvious how they've tied all this together. Immediate bait for the election, fire for the election. Notice this from the Trump assassination scare in Nevada, November 5th, 2016 to today is exactly 401 weeks later, right? 401. That's the 79th prime number. Okay. And this town, Butler's on the 40th parallel, like we just talked about, but also the 79th meridian. And since this shooting was just outside of Pittsburgh, remember we have the 60th presidential election upcoming. Kamala's about to turn 60. Donald Trump equals 60. We know that the same day that he told people he was going to run for the first time publicly was the day his ex-wife fell down the stairs and died. And again, that was exactly 60 weeks into the first ever Jesuit Nation year. There's been a whole bunch of 60 stuff with Donald Trump, but Donald Trump has that Gematria 60. The Steelers, the Pittsburgh Steelers, near where this rally was, they're run by the Jesuit Rooney family. Don't forget the Jesuits, their original order had 60 members. But the reason I'm bringing up the Steelers nearby is because the Steelers won the Super Bowl in this 60th NFL season, and they defeated Los Angeles. And that's where RFK was assassinated. Again, just the whole thing with RFK Jr., RFK, Trump, Biden, the 144 is what we talked about earlier. So the Steelers defeated the Los Angeles Rams that year. And funny enough, that Super Bowl actually ended on Pope Francis's birthday. He would have been 43 that day. On Pope Francis's 43rd birthday, the Steelers. That was 44 years ago now, come to think of it. But back then, they finished the Super Bowl at the end of the season rather than like how we do now at the beginning of the next year. Yeah, it'll be the 45th anniversary of that Super Bowl this year on December 17th, the first day of Saturnalia. But anyhow, that was the 1979 season, right? But the 60th NFL season. So I'm thinking, is that an accident? Or is there something more to dig into? If you guys are new here, for years we've shown how sports and politics are scripted together undeniably. Again, go back to the year the Eagles beat the Patriots in Super Bowl 52. We said the very day that Trump took on the protesters on 23/9 what the Super Bowl was. We said, don't you get it? 239, like how he has the same birthday as the flag. He took office while the flag was 239 years old. That's the 52nd prime number. The flag was sewn in Philly at 239 Arch Street. The Patriots with the flag on the side of their helmet. We already knew the Patriots are going to be in the Super Bowl that year from Brady's box score in Super Bowl 51. 62 pass attempts in Minneapolis is a 62 city where it was. But again, I mean, just what they just did in the NBA Finals with the Boston-Dallas JFK assassination tribute series where they had to fudge Game 4 so that it was on Trump's 78th birthday. Again, this was the 78th NBA season, just like how this Butler town has this 78. Again, if you weren't with us, as we explained to you how the whole finals were scripted in tribute to the JFK assassination, calling out the key numbers before it even played out, as they did all throughout the series. But again, that was the 78th NBA season. Boston Celtics, only full team in the league whose name Gematria equals 78. Game 1 was on their 78th birthday. They got their 78th win of the season, and then Jerry West died. And then they fudged Game 4 for Trump's 78th birthday. That was the only game Dallas won. Just like Dallas' star players from Slovenia, like his wife, Melania, and their son, Barron Trump, has dual citizenship with the U.S. in there. And again, it's so scripted because these families are, again, this is where people can't wrap their mind around it. But if you just pay attention year after year, like we've been showing for over a decade now, you see it's undeniable. Literally ritual birthing for all these planned rituals, which they are. Scripted sports, scripted politics, nothing but theater. Again, the finals this year began 78 days after Barron Trump's 18th birthday. He's got the Slovenia citizenship like Luka Doncic. And again, after his 18th birthday, as the Celtics become the first team to win 18 championships. And then Jerry West, who went 1-8 in finals, dies. And his full name, Jerry Allen West, is 171, which is the 18th triangular number. But in light of the whole Celtics thing, you might recall 26 was a big number on that series. Today is 26 days after the finals ended. Remember, they ended on June 17th, 6/17 in Boston. The 617 area code won it. But it's 26 days later, Celtics 26, Joe Biden's Secret Service named Celtic. The Celtics became 18-5 in finals like Donald John Trump, 185 like basketball. Again, if you're new here, so many years been showing how all of these guys get synced up with the numbers with the perfect rig, and then how you'll just watch those numbers just keep repeating. And again, 78's a big time number. Jesuit is 78. Order out of chaos is 78. Wuhan coronavirus is 78. The pandemic declared 78 days after Fauci's birthday. Jesuit educated at Holy Cross. So understand a number like 78, it's a lot more than just what I'm talking about right here. But there's a reason all these things are popping off, especially with Donald Trump, Mr. Tarot cards. By the way, tarot cards equals 119 in Gematria. Like the next president takes office with the 119th Congress. And again, there's 78 in the deck, and the top cards, again, are Trump cards. But do you remember the Shinzo Abe assassination in Japan not that long ago? I think that was in 2022, if I'm not mistaken. But I just want to go back to this because I'm pretty sure we're going to be talking about the exact same numbers. The Lincoln lawyer was a little joke, but hold on. Yeah, it was July 8th. It was 7-8. It was still 7-7 in the West, but it was 7-8 in Japan where he was actually shot. And remember, Japan's so important to the Jesuits. That's why they put out that show by the number Shogun this year. But the last superior general of the Jesuits died in Japan. It's the House of the Rising Sun. The Jesuits, their logo is the sun. But yeah, the Abe assassination was 7-8. And they said the assassin's name, Tetsuya, was 78. Again, just making the same point there. Kennedy, 78. Order out of chaos. Shinzo Abe equals 144. Jovenel Moise had just been assassinated. His name, 144. Last year. If you weren't with us last year on August 9th, I was just going over the history of RFK's child dying on that day right before his assassination on the day. August 9th leaves 144 days left in the year. And then that day, the headline breaks that the FBI arrested a man plotting to kill Biden. And then later that day, there's an assassination of a presidential hopeful in Ecuador. But just over and over with the 144 thing with assassinations. And yeah, again, this year's election, 144 days after Trump's birthday, and also after Biden meeting with the Pope, because he met on Trump's birthday. And then Shinzo Abe, right? And if you didn't know better, you just say Abe, like Abe Lincoln, ABE, who again was shot on 14/4, the day the Secret Service was created. And they're saying what a phenomenal job the Secret Service did today. And doesn't that seem funny that the Secret Service was created in history the day that Lincoln was assassinated? Secret societies, DC, the Masonic City. Okay. I wanted to see if they'd confirm this. Well, just before I went live, I heard them say on the news that they believe the shooter was dead, and they thought maybe somebody shot behind Trump might also be dead. So I don't know if that report's been confirmed, but I doubt they've given us a shooter name yet. I can't wait till they break it down. Will he have a 3-part name? It's like, when don't they? Oh, hold on. Actually, Fox News is only going with the 2-part name. I'm surprised they actually do have the shooter's name already. Here, hold on. Let's see if do a web search for that name. Or hold on. Did I read that incorrectly? Oh, never mind. It says Fox News Jackie Heinrich. A law enforcement source told Fox News Jackie Heinrich the shooter is dead. Okay, we don't have a name. That's the reporter who's breaking the story. Kamala was in Philadelphia today, 267 days after her birthday, like Philly's the 267 area code. Hold on. Okay, one other point I needed to make about Butler. If you run the alphabetic order in reverse, Butler's 84 instead of 78. Again, just the whole thing about Reagan, because Reagan was shot in 81, and then eventually he would win re-election in 84. And consider that 1984 was 40 years ago, like Reagan was number 40. He also ran on MAGA. And again, this shooting in Butler is on the 40th parallel north. So, again, it just looks like more predictive programming. It's another story that builds Trump's legacy, and we speculate that they might do something exactly like this. So we'll see what more could come from here, but this is exactly what we've been talking about for some time. And really, we've been talking. We got the assassination story back in 2016. Again, supposedly out of November 5th in Nevada. And again, you guys, Nevada equals 115 in Gematria. Masonic equals 115. Killing 115. Again, today is 115 days before the election, which is on that same date that he had the scare in 2016, November 5th, 115. Again, first caucus, January 15th, 115. And by the way, if you watch Fox News, if you noticed all week they had a countdown to the election. I can't figure out what they're doing because all week they were one day off. Like, if you watched yesterday on Fox News, it said 115 days to the election. It's like, has anybody checked that all week? I mean, it's not, unless they move the election to Monday. No, today's 115 days to the election. Fox News all week was one day off. I was wondering why they were doing that. And anyone out there watching, don't think I watch Fox News because I think that's a legitimate information source. I watch all the propaganda networks to expose them all. No, Fox News was founded by the Republican Party. It's far from legitimate. It's nothing but politics. And politics is nothing but deception and playing on people's emotions and feelings. And that's exactly what this story is today. This story is politics. It's going to give people an emotional feeling. Somebody who was like, oh, oh my God, maybe I do got to vote for him. Maybe that's the sign from the Almighty Creator that he was blessed. The bullet wasn't 6 more inches the other way. Because that's how people are. And again, this is why they use Hollywood and actors. Because I mean, just like you watch a good movie scene, it can get an emotional response from you. Okay. Yeah, well, we'll see what we get for a shooter. Yesterday, if you missed yesterday's work, we talked about how the Baldwin case was dismissed for smoking the Ukrainian woman on the set of Rust right before Ukraine-Russia, in a number ritual that just synced up with so many things we've been talking about all week. But again, Alec Baldwin played Donald Trump. And what did we talk about yesterday with the case being dismissed on his 101st day of his age? So yesterday, Friday, was Alec Baldwin's 101st day of his age. Today is 101 days after his birthday. So it also has the 101 connection day. If I remember, dismissed is 101. You run it in reverse, it's 142. It was 142 weeks after the shooting. His name's got that 142. But the 101, it was a church shootout scene. Again, it's the Catholic Church and the Jesuits controlling the script. I don't know where any evidence for any other group it stacks so well. I mean, we've been really documenting it. But anyway, Church 101, like Christian, like Philadelphia, again, the Church of Philadelphia in Revelation. God, you know what? That's crazy because Kamala was in Philadelphia today by the numbers. And Donald Trump with the whole mega Satan thing. She said Trump had to be stopped because he'll trample the Constitution. And then he has the assassination scare, and they're both in Pennsylvania. He's near Pittsburgh. She's in Philly. But again, the woman who he supposedly shot, Helena 101. But here's the big one. Here's the big one that really matters today. Assassin, right? I was talking about how this number is connected to assassinations. One actor connected to another actor who has portrayed Trump. And now this the very next day. Theater in real time. You know, Trump falls down. It's unclear what happened. Pops up. Some red streaks on the face. And I was making a point how I did a bigger video on the Eminem thing yesterday. This is just one little part of it. But the lyric he had was "Got Pop Like Helena Hutchins, 133." And that's a huge number with the presidency, president, White House, government. They're all 133. Colorado's 133, where the UFC fight is, in light of Dana White going to introduce Trump in a couple days at the GOP convention. Remember when Trump first spoke in 2015 at the first GOP debate with all the candidates, Forbes had the stat up on the screen that said Trump was the 133rd richest man. Yeah, there's some other interesting things about this, but we were pointing out how this little parallel came 133 days before the JFK assassination anniversary. And the reason we're even making that parallel is because Baldwin, when he shot the Ukrainian woman, was 63. They've been doing 63 stuff all over the place right now. And I think part of the reason that is because modern Freemasonry is 307 years old right now, which is the 63rd prime. And JFK was killed in Dealey Plaza, named after a Freemason. And again, you got to remember the Masons etch on the temple, all is number. Again, the Masonry has the tie with the Pythagoreans. Pythagoras was supposedly all about this letter and number thing, which in Greek was isopsophy, in Hebrew it was gematria. Again, they're both the practice of coding numbers into words. And another actor that's in the news right now, also buzzing at this time, Matthew McConaughey last night floated the idea of running for president. And remember, he was in the White House after the Uvalde shooting in Texas, where JFK died. Remember, Biden went down to Texas to talk about it on JFK's birthday anniversary, May 29th. But Matthew McConaughey went to the White House and held up the green Converse and talked about how we need major, change in our gun laws. And then you had the Padres manager protest. There were a number of celebrities that kind of, it seemed like, got behind the Matthew McConaughey thing at the White House. But again, I just want to remind people of Matthew McConaughey's ritual at the White House and how obvious of a ritual it was, synced up with the NBA Finals at that time and Kamala. Again, Converse are the old sneakers of the NBA, green ones like Joe Biden's. You guys remember that year the Finals was Celtics and Warriors. Game 1, the Celtics went on a 17-0 run to close out the game to come back and win. And Joe Biden that same night gave a 17-minute speech about the killings at Parkland and Uvalde and said for 17 more days we'll mourn. In Gematria, NBA equals 17. And the day that Joe Biden announced he was running for president was the day that John Havlicek died, the Celtic, who wore number 17, who died 17 days after his birthday. The Celtics stayed on 17 championships in that finals. Again, they fell to 17-5, like Golden State equals 175, and so does Pope Francis. And again, the Warriors beat the Celtics in Boston on the Pope's birthday that year before they beat him in the finals. They dropped the Celtics to 7-5 at home at the start of the season, and then became 7-5 in finals in the 75th anniversary season. Catholic Church 75, like Roman Catholic. San Francisco, very Catholic. The Niners also won the 75th NFL season back in the day over the Fathers. Not really. The San Diego's got the Padres there, the Fathers, but the San Diego Chargers, they beat them with 49 points. Anyway, this Matthew McConaughey thing. The mass shooting in Uvalde, that's his hometown, was 201 days from his birthday, right? So then he goes to the White House by the numbers, and he holds up these green Converse, and he does it. He did it 150 days before his upcoming birthday. Okay. When Uvalde happened, it was 201 days before his upcoming birthday. So then when he goes to the White House, it's 201 days after his birthday and 150 days before, or hold on, I'm getting my dates. No, that is right. And then 150 days before his upcoming birthday. So you see how in Gematria, green Converse is 150 and 201? He's at the White House with this perfect birthday spacing from his last birthday. Or hold up, I see what I did wrong. That's okay. Sorry, guys. The shooting was 201 days after his birthday, and Uvalde was on the 144th day of the year. And remember, it was 10 days after the Buffalo shooting, the Buffalo top shooting, which happened on the 201st day of Hillary Clinton's age, and she cut the ribbon for that because it was open in this like racial event type of thing. That store had been cut off by Interstate 33, or that neighborhood had been cut off from having a grocery store by Interstate 33. Anyway, the Buffalo shooting happened 144 days after the death anniversary of Peter Canisius. It was a 144-201 ritual, just like Uvalde was. The Jesuit order's 201. Jesuit order alone's 144. Numbers that come together throughout history. It's like the Jesuits came out of suppression in the time of James Madison 144 days after his birthday, and James Madison's the only president whose name equals 201. Like the Jesuit order, like Order of Illuminati, like part of this big, long Jesuit 201 history. Again, Trump burying his ex-wife on the 201st day of the year after she dies 60 weeks into the first Jesuit Ignatian year. Biden loses his son at 46, 201 days before the Pope's birthday. On and on and on. But Uvalde, 201 days after McConaughey's birthday, He goes to the White House 150 days before his birthday. They're both Illuminati numbers. Hey, speaking of which, Alec Baldwin, when he shot the Ukrainian woman, if you go back and look, it was at 1:50 p.m. local time, 201 days after his April 3rd birthday, which again is the anniversary of Brandon Lee being buried. And then his father died on the 201st day of the year filming Game of Death. But these same numbers will come together all the time. Numbers just like this, 201, 150. Green Converse has the 201, 150, just like Illuminati, which is essentially Jesuit. And remember, heliocentrism equals 201. They say the sun's 150 million kilometers away on average. Heliocentrism equals 201 and 150. The 201 in Hebrew relates to light. The sun is the center of light. The Catholic Church, a new Gematria system in English, synced with the calendar, where they put these same numbers, almost like it's always in tribute to the sun making life possible, and the mathematics and just the Hebrew meaning of 201, enlightened knowledge. Again, there's a reason that they do all this. And funny enough, in English, knowledge is power equals 201. The number relates to 201 in Hebrew, but in English, the phrase we all know, knowledge is power, is 201. Here's the heliocentrism thing. Triclavianism is how the Romans crucified people. Jesus, the Son of God, is believed to have been crucified with triclavianism. The three nails in the Jesuit logo show the three nails represent triclavianism. In the Jesuit order 201. You know what I noticed? The day that he did that was the day leaving 207 days left in the year. That is interesting because again, the Jesuit who created Art of War. Again, they say Sun Tzu is the author of Art of War, but it's only known about because of the Jesuit priest who translated it, and it was published in 1772. But he's got the big 207 connection, and we've been noticing throughout history where this 201 and 207 comes together. Typically, the 201st day of the year is July 20th, which can be written 20/7. So, again, if you've never read Art of War, it's about how it's better to defeat your enemy without even having to fight the war, essentially through being smarter, wiser, trickier, more deceptive. Ultimately, the best way to fight the war is any way but actually having to make war. And sometimes it looks like that's what's been going on for quite some time, you guys, because, I mean, it's like, again, here. In Gematria, Art of War equals 102. It's like the 102nd NFL season. The guy with the Ukrainian wife or fiance who he's now married to just days later after like the war breaks out. But the Rams coach with the same colors as Ukraine, you have them winning the Super Bowl, 56, and then you have the Pope pleading with Putin on the 56th day of the year, days later after this war's broken out. But that was the 102nd NFL season. Art of War 102. You go back in time, the American Civil War broke out on the 102nd day of the year, April 12th, 1861. Lincoln blamed the Civil War on the Jesuits. By the way, I'm not doing these things justice. Like the Russia-Ukraine has so many 201s in it, it's ridiculous. Like Biden and Putin meeting on Pearl Harbor Day, 201 days after the first Jesuit Ignatian year began, and a million things since, including them just having that NATO conference 201 days from Zelensky's birthday, just days ago, where Biden was referring to Kamala as Trump and Zelensky as Putin. I mean, all this stuff's a big joke. But Art of War in 102, again, the American Civil War began on the 102nd day of the year. Lincoln blamed the American Civil War on the Jesuits. John Surratt, the assassin who got away, was Jesuit. Look into John Surratt, Surrat. His mom was assassinated or executed for him getting away. But yeah, Lincoln did blame the American Civil War on the Jesuits at the end. Died in a Jesuit ritual. Jesuit Order 144, shot on 14/4. Day the Secret Service was created. The same pattern over assassinations ever since. Again, you got to remember, this nation's capital didn't start in D.C. That's where the Jesuits set up camp. This nation's inauguration day didn't start on January 20th, 20/1, like 201, which is also the 201st day of the nation's age. Again, that's how you can just see the whole thing's been constructed by these people. Again, this calendar that says today's July 13th, that calendar was given to us by a Jesuit priest, Christopher Clavius. Do you remember that they said 19 officers stood down while 19 children were killed at Robb Elementary? Chaos has the 19. Order out of chaos has the 78. And the motto for Uvalde, the school motto is 201. There was a number of 201s with Uvalde. It's just all of these things are related. That they've because again, it's just obvious when you're paying attention. You just see the number pattern, the 144th day. Then Biden's down there on JFK's birthday of all days, and then people are there's an NRA conference down there, and people are wilding out against each other, getting politically divided. They got the Republicans on this side screaming at the Democrats on this side. Again, that's why people need to understand this knowledge to see how we're getting played. They got a theater performance unfolding, and again, people need to see it for what it is: political theater. I'll go back and look at this stuff later, but there's a lot of 201s with Uvalde. Okay, all of just so many crazy headlines today. Just the big celebrity deaths, a lot of death in Palestine, nearly 100 people killed, how they report it in the headline. Remember, you guys, today is the kill date for the month. What makes the kill date? Again, there are different paths in date numerology. They'll break down to the same root digits, but again, today's date numerology breaks down to 64, 28, and 44. You see how the word kill has the 64, 28, and 44. The word kill right at the top, 64, 44, 28. Just like Israel and Zion have all those numbers. And remember, Theodore Herzl, the founder of Zionism, died at age 44 in 1904, 44 years before Israel was made a nation. And there's so much 44 with Israel's history. I remember Netanyahu, it was on the eve of the 44th anniversary of Jimmy Carter's 444-day Iranian hostage crisis, which ended with Reagan. And imagine Trump comes back in office with all the Reagan parallels. And just like he says, he's been saying, when I get back in, it's so easy to fix. I'm going to end the war there. I'm going to end the war over there. It's easy. Reagan came in straight out of Hollywood and just ended the Iranian hostage crisis. Don't be surprised if they do these same things again, because it was the eve of the 44th anniversary of that beginning that Netanyahu said, and by the way, Netanyahu equals 44, both in Hebrew and in English. But Netanyahu said that he's not going to stop killing in Palestine until he gets back every last hostage. That was his initial statement. And we said right then, when he said, well, sounds like he's not going to stop killing in Palestine then, because surely the narrative is not going to go that every single hostage survived and was returned. He just knew it was going to be that way. And then, since then, they've had all these stories like, oh, maybe there's going to be a ceasefire. Maybe there's going to be some peace. But then Netanyahu's always like, nah, I see another terrorist over there. We didn't get back all the hostages. But all these stories unfold by the numbers. And let's not forget, State of Israel equals 201, like David Ben-Gurion died 201 days after the anniversary of its establishment, like how Netanyahu stepped down on the day, leaving 201 days left in the year, and then came back on 12/29, where 1229 is the 201st prime. And again, that was the anniversary of Albert Pike's birthday. The same Albert Pike who wrote the letter about 3 world wars, published August 15th, 1871, on the Jesuit order's birthday, where the Third World War has to do with political Zionism. So yeah, all of these things happening today. Again, the Dr. Ruth, she was supposedly in the war as a sniper that was at the beginning of Israel becoming a nation. And do you recall that when this war began on October 7th? Not to mention, if you weren't here October 4th, we pretty much pinpointed why this was going to pop off on October 7th. And if you weren't here on December 29th, the day Netanyahu came back in 2022, I put out about an hour-long video explaining why there'd be a major war in 2023 starting in Israel. Again, because they're just operating by a numerical code, just like how we see every month on these kill dates to expect these kind of stories. So redundant. But anyway, Netanyahu, it's exactly 38 weeks after his 74th birthday. Both of those numbers are fateful, killing 74 and 38. This war in Palestine started while it was 74 years old. The man who the strike was for, that killed upwards of 100 people, Muhammad Diif, as he's known, Gematria 228. Death in Sumerian Gematria is 228. Death the normal way is 38. And again, it's exactly 38 weeks after his birthday. But this man is why they say they did the strike there that killed all these people. And Netanyahu's like, I'm not sure we even got him, but we tried. And again, you guys, don't forget the war when it began on the anniversary of us invading Afghanistan, October 7th. It was 282 days after Netanyahu came back to power. Netanyahu. 282 days after he came back to power, the war broke out. And there's more that can be said about all these numbers up here, but you run it the other way. The Jesuit order is 177, like New World Order. The 177, 201, they come together a lot. Like Klaus Schwab equals 177, hosted event 201. Again, Netanyahu left and came back in a 201 ritual. Don't forget, we just sent all that money to Israel and Ukraine on the 201st day of the war in Israel. And both wars broke out in 201 rituals. And again, Ashkenazi Jews trace back to where the war is happening in Russia and Ukraine, ancient Khazaria. What they did on Hitler's birthday. Germany's got that 38 too. But all right, real quick, just all this news just overwhelming people like in such a short period of time. Just all the deaths. Richard Simmons, you're like, whoa, Richard Simmons, and then whoa, Trump assassination. I mean, it's just like bang, bang, bang on this kill date. And kill dates. So, some months they come and there's obvious celebrity deaths, and then some months they come and it's like we just can't keep up. There's too much crazy stuff happening on the kill date. And obviously, this one, July 13th, big time. Now, Richard Simmons, what's obvious, I just said this weeks ago, you got to watch for the celebrities who are from New Orleans because you got Super Bowl 59 upcoming. And again, despite his name being known as Richard Simmons, his birth name is Milton Simmons. And you can see it right there. Milton Simmons, 59 forwards, 76 in reverse. Dead right before Super Bowl 59 in New Orleans at 76. And again, they just did this with O.J. Simpson, dead at 76, 59 days after the last Super Bowl. And again, I did a shorter video on that, and I've repeated this thing a gazillion times out, 59 and 76. I don't want to say it again. But it was his birthday yesterday. It was his birthday yesterday. And again, he put out this post on Monday, March 18th, supposedly on his social media about dying. He's dead a span of 118 days later. And actually, I just caught wind that post was actually about cancer. The word cancer itself is also 118. Cancer is 118. So from his social media post about dying until his death today on the 44 date numerology is a span of 118 days later. They just did something similar with Bill Walton, who died the day the Celtics advanced to the finals. Man who finished his career with the Celtics. Dead at 71. Celtics equals 71, like UCLA. He was part of UCLA's perfect season in 71. But yeah, again, Richard Simmons dead in Los Angeles as well. We call LA the 118 city because Los Angeles, California is 118. It's on the 118th Meridian West. And LA's establishment date September 4th, the day leaving 118 days left in the year. And again, just 118, fateful number. In Jewish gematria, death and homicide equal 118. Richard Simmons was born Jewish, converted to Catholicism. And there's so many deaths with 118. But a big one in history is Jenny Lane, who died on August 11th, like Robin Williams, at the age of 47 of all ages. But he died in hotel room 118. Again, you learn in gematria how death and homicide equal 118. It starts to make a lot more sense. And again, Richard Simmons on the kill day, plus a 118. Dallas, Texas, where JFK was killed. Dallas, Texas has the 118. Just like this NBA Finals, the Mavericks got to 118 playoff wins all time, and that's where they stopped. Celtics equals 118 like Dallas, Texas. There's possibly a skull and bones piece in here. I'm going to save that for now. But the 118 and the kill date and being from New Orleans, I mean, that's really, that's the take home for this one. And Dr. Ruth, dead 38 days after her birthday. 4 feet 7 inches tall, reportedly, in the war in Israel in 47. It's back when the United Nations was drawing up Israel, when Aleister Crowley, the occultist, was dying by the numbers. But yeah, her dying 38 days after her birthday. Again, death, murder, killing, RIP, all 38. We talked about today being 38 days after Reagan's death anniversary, the parallel with Reagan getting shot, and now Trump. Election 38 in an election year. 38 days after RFK being shot, again with RFK Jr. in the race. Got in the race by the numbers. But yeah, her what she was known as a sex guru also has the Gematria 38. Born June 4th, born 6/4, right? And now she's dead and announced on the kill date. She died actually yesterday, but announced on the kill date. Ruth. And yeah, just the fact that they have to draw the ties to her and Israel's got a killing story today. Just again, I don't think that's an accident. In her lifetime, she lived in Israel, she lived in Germany, she lived in Switzerland. Pretty significant. I love this part. She went to France. You know, they say that France are the sex experts. It all starts with the French kissing. But anyway, from France, just like a lot of the founders studied in France. Again, the Scottish Rite of Freemasonry came to power in France. The Jesuits were credited in France. From France, she went to the U.S. in 56. And her other title is also sex therapist, which equals 56. Paris, France is 56, like Society of Jesus, like Washington, D.C., like it's been 56 years since 68, the year of the assassinations, MLK on 4/4, RFK on June 5th, dead on June 6th. Remember, Robert Kennedy equals 66, like Sirhan. But yeah, over and over, just the same numbers. I mean, my book from 2017, the book's nearly 800 pages long. There's a chapter in it that's over 100 pages long called Murder by Numbers, talking about how often just 44, 38 just show up in celebrity deaths together. I mean, and that book came out in 2017. We've covered so many since then. It kills me that more people don't understand the relevance of being aware of this. It allows you to see, you know, what's to come before it happens. And again, it's like you can use this knowledge in so many ways. How many times have we had a dead-on call on Bitcoin? Almost every time I've put out a public statement for what Bitcoin's going to do, it's been right on. And my advice for Bitcoin earlier this year was spot on. I said it's going to reach 72,000 by the 72nd day of the year because Bitcoin and money are 72, like Jesuit order who run the thing. And then I said after that, it's going to fall off. So I said when it hits that, I'd probably sell out, maybe keep some in because you know the game. It'll go down and come back up. But cash out on your profits when it gets to that 72 mark. Now, technically, the only way you could have done better is if you would have held on for one more day because it did reach 73,000 on the 73rd day of the year, but then it came crashing down. So had you been cashed out at 72,000, you would have been like, oh, man, I could have cashed out tomorrow for 73, but you would have been a happy camper after it went way back down. And again, from stock market to Bitcoin to sports to being prepared for what's going to come in the next rigged and scripted news event so you don't get sucked in emotionally. Again, this knowledge is limitless. Look at this gentleman. Here's a gentleman from my sports Patreon this week using the knowledge. Did a little $24 wager, turned it into $344. How about this one? Did a little $30 wager that he turned into $1,360. Again, I'm not trying to sell you on gambling. I'm trying to sell you on the relevance of Gematria. This is what I've taught the world to do in the last decade. Turned a $25 parlay for a 3-team home run thing, all based on the date numerology. All of these guys were in alignment with the 5-date numerology that day. All 3 hit their home runs connected to 5. 3 picks. I mean, this is a hard thing to do to get 3 home run props, but notice the wager, 25, and what did it pay? 7,730, you know? He felt really good about these two, so he wagered more. A lot of these guys are playing with house money. He wagered 100 here. I mean, it's a pretty generous bet, but he won a nice, cool 5,600 on that as well. And, 25 into 137, that doesn't feel like anything based on the other bets. But at the same time, I mean, this is what I've taught people to do, how to make small investments in taking advantage of a rigged system, whether it's sports, the market, the crypto, because this is the cabal code. This is what they're using to control all this. And if I'm mistaken and it's not the Jesuit cabal and it's just the way the universe works, then maybe that's an even better reason to learn it. If that's your theory, that it's all just the universe is making all this happen. I mean, I don't think that's right. Look at the Trump thing today. It looks pretty silly. For all you guys who are like, how can you script a home run? Have you ever watched these guys take batting practice? I mean, they can hit the ball out of the park every time. Ichiro Suzuki, was he a home run hitter? Oh, it wasn't, was he? He hit some in his career, but have you ever watched him hit batting practice? He hit every single ball out of the park in batting practice, Ichiro Suzuki. Everything, just launch it all out of the park. These guys are major league players. How many home runs in the MLB are hit off a hanging breaking ball over the plate? A ton. So that's the gimme pitch. That's the home run pitch. Again, if the script is faked assassin, it's not that hard to contrive it. Trump fell to the ground, was down there for a while, and then he all pops up with the Secret Service with some red streaks on his face. I mean, you're going to hear a whole lot of bullshit on TV. It's going to be your choice to believe it or say, you know what, I'm tired of being bullshitted by the TV. The point I'm making is a lot of things through the TV, the entertainment, the stuff people are hooked on, it's scripted. It's controlled for the sake of an agenda, for the sake of making sure the casino always wins. Unless you learn how they script it and you reverse engineer it on them, which is what we've been doing for a decade. You know, also, there's probably something about a sex guru and a fitness guru dying today. I mean, you look at this nation, right? In the post-COVID era where everybody had to stay home and be afraid, everyone had the cooties. I'm sure, especially, I just imagine that like in a certain teenage group where normally you'd be out, like teenagers would have been out with the friends and maybe having some experiences with the other, significant other. A lot of those things were missed in the time of COVID, and then I bet what replaced that, what a typical generation would get was the computer and the lotion and the porn websites. Again, I'm pretty sure that what they've done with this COVID world, and it was even happening before COVID, they've been breaking people up through social media and had people going to hang out there, going home to see their social media feed. But yeah, you just see a very unhealthy society, a lot of obese people. I'm pretty sure that a lot less sex is happening, all part of this population control agenda they got going. Everything they're doing comes back to population control. I mean, it should be obvious. War, death, illness, fentanyl, homosexuality, mutilate your genitalia at a young age. The government will subsidize it for you. But yeah, just again, this is a very symbolic day. It's July 13th. It's 13/7, like 137. Again, the 33rd prime. The word sex itself equals 33. People equals 33. Person 33. The reason 33 is important to Masonry is because of Kundalini, where spiritual ascension happens up to 33 bones of the vertebrae. Again, the word sex 33, they break the news today about the most famous TV sex teacher dead. And then right after that, again, the fitness guy. And it really does all seem symbolic. And then just with regards to the whole 33 thing, you know what? I was talking about Kennedy in 78 earlier, which is true, but the Kennedy family has that big 33 connection. We can get into why the 78th NBA season was a tribute to Kennedy. You see how Kennedy's 111 in reverse? Remember, this year, for the first time ever, the NBA playoffs and the NHL playoffs both began on the same day, the 111th day of the year. New York equals 111 and 78. We thought the Knicks would score 111 that day. That did 111 points that day. They did. But it matters because, again, the NBA Finals was clearly about the JFK assassination. Remember, the finals for the NBA were set one day after JFK's birthday anniversary, and he would have turned 107. And Robert Fitzgerald Kennedy equals 107, like shooting. Saturday also equals 107 in light of this happening today. But JFK would have been 107 years old. Boston came into the Dallas series having outscored Dallas by 107 points all time. We were talking about that before game one was played. Then game one, Boston wins with 107 points. And then Boston wins the finals on the 107th day of Jason Tatum's age, their star player. And again, Jason Tatum even got his 45th playoff loss on Trump's birthday, the only game they lost in that series. But the hockey starting the same day as the NBA. Remember, they started to tear down Parkland High School the day of Game 4, the day of Trump's birthday. The day of Game 4 in the NBA Finals, they started to tear down Parkland High School. And JFK died at Parkland Hospital in Dallas, the 214 area code. And remember, the Parkland High School shooting happened on Valentine's Day, the 45th day of the year, but February 14th, 214. And you know what? There's a number of things that are interesting about 214, but here's one right here. Ronald Reagan. The Ronald Reagan parallel, 214. Church of Satan equals 214 in light of mega being the highest degree. Both men ran on it. Again, the thing they did with Obama and Trump on the 45th birthday of the Church of Satan. Predictive programming. But Ronald Reagan also 56, that special number, like he died on the 5th day of June. This year was the 56th anniversary of the RFK shooting, which is on the anniversary of Reagan's death. Remember, when Biden won the election in 2020, Trump got stuck on 214 electoral votes. He couldn't get off it. Again, 214, Dallas area code. JFK dead at Parkland. Parkland shooting on 214. This year, a shooting on 214 at the Chiefs Super Bowl parade when the Chiefs started in Dallas, Texas. They used to be the Dallas Texans, and they became the Kansas City Chiefs in 63, just right before JFK was assassinated. Hold up. I forget exactly what it was. We looked at this a couple months back, and I want to go back and look again. Chiefs 1963 schedule. So this is the first year they went to Kansas City. Remember, they went to the White House on the 152nd day of the year when Joe Biden's 152, like President's Day fell on 15/2. The 46th day of the year he became number 46. But all right, this is the first year of the Kansas City Chiefs. They were the Dallas Texans the year before. The JFK assassination. So their last game was at the Boston Patriots. It's interesting that the Kennedy family's connected to Boston. The last team they played before the assassination was Boston. Okay. They scored 24, huh? 24-20. Are you kidding me? No. Hold on. Oh, never mind. It was a tie. 24-24. Wild. Because here we are in 2024. Grover Cleveland, the last split term president, number 22 and number 24, like Trump announced in 2022. He's running for 2024. But hold up. I'm going to count up their record real quick. There was something about their record. Hold on. 2. They only had 2 wins. There were more ties back then. They had 2 ties. They were 2-6-2. God, maybe I remember there being something else about that when I looked into it. But yeah, anyway, this is part of the reason that there was that Kansas City Chiefs parade shooting on 214. Again, it's all going back to the area code. It's all numbers. It's all rituals. Again, Church of Satan, 214, highest degree, mega. You know, the phrase satanic panic even equals 214, and that was a thing back in the 80s that got people going, oh, God, this whole Satan thing and these Jesus freaks, way overblown. And then in reality, it's like, well, I think it was you were looking for things more exaggerated. You're not realizing that it's the people in the suits lying to you on the screens night after night that are part of this cabal. Don't forget, Anton LaVey died 201 days from his birthday and also 201 days before the Pope's upcoming birthday. Major Jesuit ritual with the founder of the Church of Satan. But again, Kamala in Philly today, you guys. 267 days after her birthday. She said, we got to stop Trump. He's going to trample the Constitution. Of course, Philadelphia, where the Constitution was made. But how perfect. 267 days after her birthday. Again, in the 267 area code. Go back 2 years ago, the year that the Super Bowl was on Lincoln's birthday. And the Eagles, who play at Lincoln Financial Field, lost to Mahomes. And the first Super Bowl, 2 black quarterbacks on Lincoln's birthday who freed the slaves. But that year, the 49ers lost to the Eagles in Philly. And they stayed on 267 road wins as a franchise. And we're talking about how this year, when the 49ers schedule came out, they scheduled a primetime game on Gavin Newsom's birthday, October 10th. And then the Niners don't play again until October 20th, Kamala Harris's birthday. And I see 2 scenarios that could play out. There's a chance the Niners start the year perfect and are 6-0, playing on Kamala's 60th birthday before the 60th election and the rematch of the Super Bowl. They play the Chiefs on Kamala's birthday. It's possible they could be undefeated 6-0. Or what could also make sense is the Niners could become 4-2 on Gavin Newsom's birthday, which means they would come into the game on Kamala's birthday 4-2. Gavin Newsom was the 42nd mayor of San Francisco. Kamala, you might recall, she's had a lot of 42 rituals. The year she was running, CNN that whole day was talking about her blackness on the 42nd day of the year. We were like, come on, man. Remember, the Chiefs just had the huge 42 ritual over the 49ers, becoming 4-2 in Super Bowls on the 42nd day of the year when Missouri's 42. But if they came in 4-2 on Kamala's birthday, I mean, it would be looking like they're probably going to become 5-2. And if she has not become president yet, again, it might be another strong sign that Joe Biden's not going to finish his term like JFK. Because imagine if Kamala or if the Chiefs became, or excuse me, not the Chiefs, the Niners. Imagine if the Niners became 5-2 in that game. When they first lost to the Chiefs in Super Bowl 54, they fell to 5-2 in Super Bowls. 49ers equals 52, like California. Gavin Newsom also equals 52. So does government, so does authority, so does president, so does White House. It's a special number, 52, going with the 52 weeks in the year. Gematria also equals 52, like Kabbalah. But yeah, I see them either going in 6-0 for the straight up 60 tribute, or 4-2 and becoming 5-2. But just year after year, again, it's so obvious how they have the sports structured and scripted with the politics. It's like you got to ask yourself, what are the odds that the 49ers are playing on Newsom's birthday and then Kamala's? I mean, what are the odds of that? Year after year, these types of things. Just like how it didn't make any sense why every single game in the NBA Finals was 3 days apart, except for Game 4, which was just 2 days later, so they could get it on Trump's 78th birthday. And again, Kamala, she's talking about the Constitution in Philadelphia 66 days before the Constitution's birthday, which is also the NFL's birthday, which is also Patrick Mahomes' birthday, which is also the day leaving 105 days left in the year before the 105th NFL season. Mahomes throws to Kelsey, born on 10-5. But the 66 days prior is interesting because woman and lady are 66. Michelle Obama's mother just died. Then 2 days later, Mexico got the first female president by the numbers. Now, all the speculation that maybe Biden, not only is he not going to run, he might even end up stepping down. Again, Gerald Ford said in 1989. You guys, 89. Harris equals 89. It's the day leaving 144 days left in the year. Richard Nixon stepped down on August 9th. And Richard Nixon won the presidential election in 72 after losing to Kennedy in 60. But 72 is the year that Biden became senator-elect. And Kamala's born on the day leaving 72 days left in the year. But again, Gerald Ford, who replaced Richard Nixon after that August 9th ritual. Gerald Ford, again, he said the first female president will replace an old man who will die. And he said that in the Herbert Hoover Library. And Kamala was born on the exact same day that Herbert Hoover died, October 20th, 1964. So just just realizing that all of this stuff really is just one big sick joke playing tribute to history, manipulating us, unloading the theater by the numbers that pays tribute to the shenanigans they got away with in the past. Again, we said when Biden's 81 and Kamala's 59, which is right now. We said this back when they took office. We said that time's going to be real interesting because Biden supposedly got the record 81 million votes. President Biden equals 81. President Trump also equals 81. And Reagan, his assassination was in 1981, the one that he survived. That's probably not an accident. I lost my train of thought. It's okay. It's not a big deal. So this stream's been information overload, and I don't think I delivered it in the best way. That's sometimes you just got to keep it more simple, but it is what it is. Did you guys see they're raising the price of postage to 73 cents tomorrow? I love it. 73 cents. Mail 73. Small way mail is 17. Tomorrow leaves 170 days left near 170. And a part of me wonders if maybe we're not that far away from a 73-cent stamp for Kamala Harris, the tramp stamp. Joe Biden just called her ho, ho, ho on the 4th of July. We all heard it. The tramp stamp for Kamala Harris. But Harris got that 73 and 89. And you know what? Also the 44 in light of, today. She's saying we got to stop Trump. Next thing you know, assassination scare in another part of the state. Being near the Steelers stadium. Remember, they've used the Steelers in a number of movies for football tragedy. Black Sunday, it's a Super Bowl between the Steelers and Dallas that gets attacked by Palestinian terrorists. That was Super Bowl X in that film. X is the 24th letter. Like here we are in 2024. Elon Musk with all of his 24X rituals rebranded on the 24th of July while the Illuminati in U.S. were 247 years old. Again, Elon Musk, another one of these Jesuit puppets by the numbers. Again, all this stuff's obvious if you have the Gematria lens to see through it. But yeah, I just wonder if that's not too far off in the future. The Kamala Harris 73 stamp. I'm gonna have to get one to savor the moment. And by the way, you know what else is funny, you guys? Today is the last day of the stamps being 68 cents. Again, we have parallels here to the RFK assassination, which happened in 68, like MLK on 4/4. They keep talking about 1968, what they did at Columbia earlier this year on the 56th anniversary of the last police raid on Columbia over a war protest. 1968, the year of years. Again, the year fentanyl was approved, the year coronavirus was coined, the year World Trade Center construction began in New York, 911 made the national emergency dialing code, and on and on and on. The first black female became senator-elect in 68. Chisholm. And she went to Columbia like Obama, who won the 56th election. And Kamala took the White House with Biden while she was 56 years old. And now 56 years later, since Chisholm, who became the first black woman senator, Kamala, one-term senator like Barack, who took the White House with Biden, she could become the first black president. Just like how when Ketanji Brown Jackson became the first black female Supreme Court justice, it was perfectly synced with Kamala. And also the overturning of Roe versus Wade with the Jackson-Dobbs decision, as the media then just said black women will be the most impacted by this. All part of the mockery. And, of course, they overturned Roe versus Wade and put Ketanji Brown Jackson on the court in a big 201 ritual. Had Breyer resign in a big 201 ritual. Same numbers over and over. You can see the same gangs orchestrating all this stuff. It's high ritual. All right. Yeah, so if you got here late, again, Cliff Notes. Keep it short and simple. Somebody wants to make shorter videos. This might be a better, shorter video. They're comparing this to Reagan, the assassination attempt on him, March 30th, 1981. This happened on the 40th parallel north. Reagan was number 40. Reagan won a re-election after that assassination attempt, but years later, it was in 84 that he won re-election, but it was after the assassination attempt. You could say the same was true for Trump in 2016, because he supposedly had the assassination attempt on November 5th in Nevada, 3 days before the election. This is getting way more attention than that did on November 5th. November 5th, that was, I mean, one of the stories that was buzzing, but it didn't command like this kind of attention. Like, oh my God, the blood, the Secret Service. We didn't have all this. So this is on a new level. But remember, that was November 5th. 8 years later will be the election this year. And that date sequence is 115 November 5th. Like today's 115 days until that. And again, 115, it's been big with Trump. He took office with the 115th Congress. The Nationals won the 115th World Series 138 days after Trump's birthday, when Donald Trump equals 138, like Nationals, like federal. Again, we saw that coming a mile away. But you have the 40 thing. You have the 115 thing. Reagan shot on March 30th, 3 plus 30, 33. Today can be written 13/7, like 137, the 33rd prime. Again, federal order, secrecy, masonry, also Hollywood. They all equal 33. Trump and Reagan, both Hollywood actors. Reagan, the 33rd governor of California. So you have these parallels. This town of Butler has the gematria of 78 and 84. Trump 78. Reagan won re-election in 84, 40 years ago. Again, this town on the 40th parallel. So those are really this simple observations. And then again, from Reagan's death anniversary, which is also the day RFK was shot, June 5th, to today is 38 days later. It's a fateful number connected to death and killing, but it's also a big number with the election. And here, I want to check one more thing. I want to look at exactly what date that Colorado shooting was. I know it was exactly 44 weeks before the election. I just want to see from that until this, because again, you got UFC in Colorado tonight, and Dana White's going to host or open up for Trump the day he speaks at the Milwaukee convention, which starts this week. And again, the main fighter tonight, her name is Rose. Keep in mind, the secret societies, a rose is a symbol of secrecy. A rose, a blood rose. Roses are red. Trump's face got red streaks on it. But anyway, the woman who's the main fight tonight for UFC, it's a woman. She's from Milwaukee, where they're having that thing too. So it's like, what are the odds of that? What are the odds of that? But hold on. I got to go back and check exactly what date that was. We could just also reverse engineer it. I think this is it right here. All right. Man breaks into Colorado Supreme Court overnight and opens fire. This is after they removed him from the ballot. That was January 2nd, a Tuesday, like a voting day, exactly 44 weeks before the election. Shooting, gunfire, mass shooter, military. Again, here we are now on 44 date numerology with the Trump shooting scare. Yeah, there's a lot more to this too. Trump's whole thing was about the 14th Amendment in Colorado, and that woman who's from Milwaukee is trying to pick up her 14th win today, 14 days after her birthday. Colorado has Gematria 38 and 43. Remember, he was removed from the ballot with a 4-3 vote, and then he was reinstated in Colorado on March 4th, which is the old inauguration day, which can also be written 4/3, like 43. 43 is the 14th prime number. Again, the case had to do with the 14th Amendment. But yeah, we thought this was some more predictive programming. I was talking about how Trump, despite being number 45, again, the 44th person to be U.S. president. Again, JFK was number 35, but the 44th term president. First president to die in office, William Henry Harrison, died on 4/4. All right. Let's take some calls. I bet some other people have some other great observations. There might be some parallels with other assassinations in U.S. history. I remember the other year Trump misspoke in Buffalo, referring to 9/11 as 7/11. We're just a couple days after that. McKinley was shot in Buffalo, New York. Trump's a New York guy. Jimmy Sweet says, phenomenal breakdown, Zach. Appreciate all your hard work. Was it really? I felt like I was doing it wrong, but I'm glad you liked it. Thank you. Appreciate the generosity. My favorite 144 in the world, Nathan. Thank you again, Nathan. I appreciate that. My most dedicated supporter out in Vegas. Thank you, Rick James. The Zealots of Israel Ministry, the man who always pounds payment with me in Seattle, says, salutations to you, Zach, for breaking this down. I hope I'm making sense. What a time to be alive, indeed. Thank you, Chewy100, indeed. And Fabian Livingston says, Captain American trailer that released yesterday mentions an assassination attempt on the president. That reminds me, okay. Remember, okay, just to get into a little bit of a different number, Civil War equals 56. You had this Captain America Civil War in the past, and the January 6th ritual was 56 months after that movie came out. And then you had the 2 Trump impeachments exactly 56 weeks apart. Remember, 56, special number to the Capitol, to the Jesuits, to Civil War history. All the stuff they've been doing this year, that putting out that Civil War movie. And remember, they put out the trailer 201 days. When they started the hype for the Civil War movie, it was 201 days after the director's birthday. And the fellow Jesuit actor whose name's escaping me, who's been in several Civil War movies, including with Jesuit-educated Denzel Washington, he was dead, and he was buzzing in the headlines, his death. And I want to say the day the trailer was put out was 201 days from his upcoming birthday. Andre, something with a B. Can't think of his last name right now. Not as famous as Denzel, but you'd recognize his face if you saw it. Both well-known actors, both Jesuit educated. Both used in the Civil War movie. But yeah, just the Captain America thing seemed to be synced with their Civil War symbolism on January 6th, which can be written 6/1, like the American Civil War began in 1861. So, okay. We're gonna do a different number here. I'm gonna mute the mic for a second. I'm gonna step away. In about 1 minute, we're gonna have a call board. And if you'd like to call and share something, the call board's nice because you won't have to be competing for a spot. Once you get in, you wait. And yeah, we'll take some calls in case somebody else has some big observations. But I should have the whole call board set up in about a minute tops. So if you need a quick drink break, use the restroom, check a news story, get ready to call in. We'll be back in just seconds. All right. We got a call board. So if you want to phone in, the number is up on the screen. Wait a minute. I thought I put up the number. It says it rejected my comment. Are you serious? Since when? Hold up. I have never seen that before. If it blocks it again, I'm going to be like, what? All right, here we go. All right, that's the call-in number. If you want to phone in, it is a call board. And we do already have 2 people on hold, so we might got some calls here. Let's go out to 347. 347, you're on.
Hey, what's up, Zach? You can hear me?
Yeah, what's going on?
You hear me? All right, I'm at work, so I'm going to make this quick. It's crazy when I called you during the stream and I told you it was a kill date today, right? You remember that?
Yeah.
During the sports stream, I think it's the kill date today. And now they do a fake Trump assassination attempt.
Yeah, I mean, yesterday I did the video on the Eminem album and how it seemed to be signaling something about death in the presidency. So I just talked about this in yesterday's live stream.
Exactly. You were talking about Eminem yesterday about in the video. Yeah, Trump get assassinated in the Eminem video.
I'll tell you one other thing. I'll tell you one other thing that I noticed. Eminem put out his 12th album on the 12th of July, and he has the rap group called D12, which stands for the Dirty Dozen. Today I typed in Richard Simmons lyrics Eminem, and what came up is actually his D12 group. The rapper Bizarre in D12 has referenced Richard Simmons in 2 different songs. I'm wondering if that's a coincidence in light of him going the next day. So Anyway.
I don't think it was that rapper reference Richard Simmons, and he's dead today after the dog's boot. Whatchamacallit.
Okay.
So basically, Trump did not get hit, right? He basically just got blood splattered on him, right?
I mean, he goes down to the ground. Doesn't look like there's a big reaction behind him, and then he comes up and he's got some red streaks on the face, by the ear. So we'll see.
And he still ain't named the shooter yet.
They said they killed the shooter.
They killed the shooter. So the shooter was on top of a building, like Lee Alden houses.
They haven't given out any story. They haven't given out any story as far as I know about how the shooter was killed. They just said he's killed.
I bet you the shooter Gematria gonna probably have something with a 44 or something with assassination attempt in his name. I bet you. I guarantee you have something with assassinating or shooting in his name.
I'll die if his name equals 144. That'd be too perfect.
And then he got shot in Pennsylvania, Joe Biden's state.
Right. Well,
you can't make this up.
I can tell. I know you missed a lot of the stream, but yeah. While Kamala's in Philadelphia today, yeah.
Oh my God! So now people think so basically think Trump will get sympathy like Ronald Reagan when Ronald Reagan got shot. That goes up to win his second election now. That's what he's gonna be. That's gonna be the talking point now. Because it's been all about Joe Biden this week. So now all this week it's gonna be about Trump. They try to assassinate him. That's why we need him for our president. Because they try to take him out and all that bullshit, right? The storyline, right?
Yeah. Indeed.
So basically, the second attempt on his life, when he ran the first time, it was some type of attempt. So this would be what? The second or third attempt on his life. Technically, what would it be called? The second one?
I remember the November 5th, 2016 one. I don't know if there's been others, but easily the second. Easily the second.
So basically, we should have seen no more attempts on his life to the presidential election, right? It'll be crazy if they try to get him again before the presidential election. So I think that's it for the assassination. Because the security will be so tight from here on to the election now.
Yeah. All right. Well, I appreciate the call, man. Thank you.
Okay.
All right. Yeah, thanks. Again, today's 115 days before the election on 11/5. 8 years ago, November 5th, 2016, Trump supposedly had an assassination scare in Nevada. Nevada equals 115, Masonic 115, killing 115. Again, Trump took office with the 115th Congress. So JFK, for the record, JFK died on a date with 115 numerology. So 11 plus 22 plus 19 plus 63. All right, here, let's take some more calls. Let's go out to 406. What's up, 406?
Hey, Zach, can you hear me?
Yeah, what's going on?
I just started doing my sports betting based on your thing.
All right, let's go out to. I don't. You guys, this is why it's like. Is it all troll calls? Are we talking about sports betting right now? 347. What's up, 347?
Yeah, peace, Zach. You hear me?
Yeah, what's up, man?
Yeah, Saturn equals 511. Remember too, like 115 reverse.
And yeah, that's right. Trump's first campaign from 2015 to 2016 was 511 days, right? And this year the election date can be written like that as well, 5/11.
Yeah, I'm seeing in quotations, they're saying he got grades. Grades equal 29. It's 29 days after his birthday.
Just like Trump.
Church equals 29. Masonic equals 29.
Trump. Trump's
Hello?
29. Trump's 29. Gray's 29. Yeah,
Yeah.
It is 29 days after his birthday.
I was getting to that. Yeah. 29 days after his birthday, Trump equals 29, Graves equals 29, Church, Masonic. Going with the Richard Simmons, he's dead at age 76. Human sacrifice 76, blood sacrifice 76, exercise tape equals 76, Milton Simmons equals 76. Just to go with that.
Okay.
Hello?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I was really calling in about the Trump 29 days after his birthday. Trump equals 29. They saying he got Graves, Masonic, Church, and all that. But I'm not gonna hold up the line. Thank you so much. I have great stream.
All right. Appreciate it. Thank you. Yeah, 406. If you really were being serious and you're not a troll, you can call back in and get back in line. But next up, 470, then 720, then 734, then 716. But go ahead, 470.
Yo, you can hear me, right?
Yeah, what's up?
Hello.
Yeah, I hear you.
I'll take it from my phone. I'm tripping. This is Jay. Now I was going to add to that. There's a TV show called The Boys, and what's crazy is that because I watched this show. I don't know if you watch it, but it's pretty funny. But what's crazy is that right now in the latest season that's going on right now, they're trying to stop the president from being assassinated.
Huh.
So it's just another one of those things where it's like it's just like okay, it's just another coincidence, but you know, and I was thinking like okay, like you know, we have the thing with Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, and yeah, it's just it's just like they always put it in the TV shows what's going on at the same time, just like they did with the Utopia and the COVID shit. So.
Indeed. Same
Did
tactics.
you know assassin also equals 115?
That's right. Yeah, you're right. The other way, assassin is 115. Indeed. Yep.
Yeah, that's something else I thought too. I'll probably make a video on this shit too since it's buzzing. But yeah, I just wanted to throw that in there. It's just another example of how they be like literally putting it in our face with the TV shows and shit. That's all.
Indeed. Yeah, great observations as always.
You know, when they release the name, it's gonna be some crazy shit.
You said that the show's called. You said the show's called The Voice.
With
the show's called The Voice.
Yeah, it's called The Boys.
Void.
Yeah, no, it's called The BOYS. The Boys.
Oh, The Boys. Oh, The Boys. Okay, yeah. I'm gonna have to look that one up.
Yeah, it's on Amazon Prime.
Yeah, I'll look that up. All right, good to know.
Yeah.
All right, appreciate it, man. Thank you.
All right, no problem.
All right, have a good one, Jay. Let's go out to 720. What's up, 720?
Hey, Zach, what's going on? Long time no talk, brother.
Yeah, just talking about the shooting.
Are you still wearing? Are you still? Yeah, I know. I just ended the Shabbat. I saw the Trump assassination, and I just turned you on YouTube. I have talked to you in 2 seasons, and I see this, what's going on, and I see obviously, 413, 44, and a lot of things. Being a hero, hero Gematria, but man, like I said, you exposed the subplot. But this is like one stage further, I guess, for this political election coming up. It's definitely a divide and conquer strategy coming in, but. That 413 or 44, how many times in the past, I got a witness to you, brother. You got it right on. You say the kill date, kill shot, assassination, how you say Kamala 267 Philly. I was like, man, numbers connect the dots, and basically you doubly connected them. And they come on, he's like this, like, damn. Then a rabbi is actually teaching later on today that he's going to describe what's going on too. Because remember, you exposed the hell out of the subplot. And like I said, I've been talking to you probably like 2 seasons, maybe since Yom Kippur. It's been a while. But yeah, it's funny. There's no accents in Hebrew too. So I turn you on and, you expose something like this. It's like, how many other things you expose? Like, man, brother, maybe you should really come and teach this too, like this Gematria to Jesuits. Because in Hebrew, it's a different road or tree of life. But man, it's just like, you just nailed it right on my head, man. It's like, you definitely got a calling and a gift, God gave it. Of course, expose all this. I just hope you, like I say, enjoy your family and other things in life too. But yeah, it's like, man, you just hit this one really hard. So, yeah, I mean, this is good work, brother. I mean, everything you say, I mean, I got a witness to it, the truth is there. So, but like I said, the truth is in these subplot, political characters, Hollywood, all that stuff was that. It's like all these people, like I said, they're following a script, and you're just exposing like a fake script, but a real one, what they're doing to the masses, divide and conquer. And it's so savage. I feel your heart. You're trying to get this out. Like, you got to snap your finger. You got to wake the hell up. You got to come out of this crap or this Babylonian system. In a nutshell, that's like, the whole book of Revelations, come out of the Babylonian crap. It was like going on for like 5,000 years, but just metamorphosed in, so many different ways. But it's like, man, what the hell do you do to snap, people out of this trance or to spell the mediums, it's just like, I guess it's very hard, for some people that woke up and some are still in the matrix. But, yeah, Zach, I mean, it's just powerful to see this, what you exposed, once again. I wish you good well and blessing. Alex, I haven't talked to you in a while, but, hopefully you're still wearing cotton wool and linen, some basics from the Torah. I taught you like a priestly garment, what a man should wear to feel positive and not, mixed frequencies. But, on a nutshell, brother, I mean, good job, man. Keep going and keep going forth. And, it's going to be amazing with this week's coming up, though. I can only imagine it's the circus show. It's going to get more fruity, nuttier, flaky, but I don't know how you do it, man. I can't be into it so much. I just try to go the other way, feed the widows and orphans, join my family, doing work, do something in a different direction. But I guess, like I said, I mean, you got the gift of the proof's in the pudding, man. So I guess just keep doing what you do, until you got maybe a different shift or a different call as well. So. But that's all I have to say, brother. But be blessed.
Appreciate it. Thank you. Still wearing the cotton, indeed. I appreciate that tip. You have a good day. His thing about wearing cotton is right. Other materials can, if you like, itch and allergies. Well, some people might have an allergy to cotton, but for most of us, cotton is definitely better than a lot of these synthetic fibers that they make a lot of clothes out of. All right, let's go out to 734. What's up, 734?
Hey, what's up, Zach? So I got two things from two movies. So yeah, this first one, I've talked about this before. I swear to God, it was like 4 years ago when the 2020 election was around. And you have it on your website, actually. I don't know if we talked about it on this live stream yet because I just joined. But it's a movie called The Parallel View, and it was released on Trump's 28th birthday in 1974 about a presidential candidate assassination. So can't get more obvious predictive programming than that. Do you remember that movie?
Is it Christopher Walken that's in that?
No, it's what's his name? Hold on, let me look at. Oh, Warren Beatty.
Warren Beatty. I have seen that. I have seen that. Yeah. That's right. Okay.
Yep, it came out on his 28th birthday in 1974, and it's about a presidential candidate assassination. Yep, it was released on June 14th, 1974. You can't get more obvious than that. And 28 is that kill number. Because 28 equals kill Gematria. So
yeah. Indeed. All right, yeah.
And then my last thing here is
go ahead.
Yeah. Then my last thing is this. It's just one more movie. A trailer just came out for a new Captain America movie that comes out in February of next year. It's called Captain America: Brave New World. But here's the thing, though. The original title for this movie was Captain America: New World Order. So I guess they're like, okay, that's a little bit too obvious. So let us change the title. But anyway, if you watch the trailer for this movie, which is online, it came out yesterday. Like, are you kidding me? It just came out yesterday. In the trailer, the president, played by Harrison Ford, is about to get assassinated in the trailer. And guess who was originally playing Harrison Ford's character? An actor named William Hurt, who died in real life. So that's why Harrison Ford is playing this character. He had to replace him. So it's just a bunch of rituals going on. So, yeah.
Very interesting. All right. I appreciate that. Great research.
Yeah, no problem.
Hold on. I'll be right back, guys. Sit tight. Sorry about that. I had to run and do something real quick. Okay, we take a few more calls and then we got to wrap this thing up. One more observation. Melania Trump, interestingly enough, she's 54 right now, that magic number. Again, Ambassador Hotel, 54, Dealey Plaza, 54, RFK Jr. officially getting in the race on 5/4. Today, the shooting is 78 days after her birthday, while Trump's 78, and again, Butler's 78, and Kennedy's 78, and Order Out of Chaos is 78, and again, 78 cards in the tarot deck. And remember, they got the son, Barron Trump, who was just synced up with the 78th NBA season, with the finals starting 78 days after his birthday on the Celtics' 78th birthday, as they end up winning the championship in a big 78 ritual. But I don't think that's an accident either. And again, I lost this on my old channel. It is out there somewhere, you guys. Melania Trump, way before she was married to Donald, somewhere back in the 90s, she did this reenactment of the JFK assassination. She's in it. I believe she plays Jackie Kennedy in the little clip. And remember, they said she was the first lady to wear baby blue since Jackie Kennedy back in 2017 at the inauguration. But how perfect that it's 78 days later. And they've been speculating on where she's been because she's been missing a lot on the campaign trail. All right, let's go out to 716.
Hey, Doc, can you hear me?
Yeah, what's up?
Okay, there's an interesting video on that Elon Musk retweeted on his feed on X. It shows a guy, he's a redheaded guy, he's getting interviewed by the BBC News, right? And he's explaining how he saw the shooter climbing on the roof of the building, and that they were all warning the police and the Secret Service, and that the police and Secret Service didn't do anything. So the first timestamp that the BBC News shows is 1901. And then they zoom out at 1911, and the guy's wearing a shirt that says Stick City, and Stick City equals 119. And it's at the 11 second mark on the, it also shows at the 11 second mark of the video bombing. Pretty crazy.
Okay, so that's
and there's another video.
Go ahead.
Like, yeah, 911, it looks like it's not. And then there's another video, if you do a search, where one of the guys in the tennis was like an ER doctor, and he actually worked on this shooter, and there's blood all over the guy's t-shirt. He's like an older guy. I think he was like maybe a Mercy helicopter doctor. And it shows, and he explains how he worked on the shooter, and the shooter had a hole in his head, and he was bleeding, and there was brain matter, like all over. And he tried giving him compressions, and obviously died. And yeah, so that's all I got for you. But pretty interesting.
All right. I appreciate the heads up. Thank you.
Yep.
All right. Let's go out to 812. 812, you're on.
Hey, is that me?
That's you.
Okay, great. Yeah, hey, look, I'm new to this Gematria stuff, so I'm learning from your show, actually, just kind of learning stuff. And so I was looking on Twitter, and I don't know if you covered this yet or not, because when your show came on, I was looking around elsewhere as well. But allegedly, the shooter is being put on Twitter that allegedly his name is Mark Violence or something like that. So I put that in the Gematrinator thing, and I clicked on the database, and it shows that his name is linked with CrowdStriker. I know that's, a group of some sort, but, I still found it to be kind of coincidental. And also a Blue Man Group. I know that's probably an unrelated group, but I mean, just the, imagery of it and such, CrowdStrike and Blue Man Group and all that.
You said his name is Mark, and then how do you spell the last name?
Violet, Violets. I mean, that's just what I don't see any official, but it's all over the Twitter that the shooter's name allegedly is Mark Violet, and he posted a video about an hour before the shooting. And apparently he's like, allegedly, he's someone on Twitter posted that he was Antifa extremist or whatever.
Violet. Violet's
so
a shade.
I don't know these things. fact. I'm just saying what I'm seeing on Twitter.
Hold on, you guys. Look at it. Did I not just say it a little bit ago that I'll die if the shooter's name equals 144? What does the shooter's name equal? It equals 144. And notice also his name, 45, like Trump's number 45, and 63, like the year of the Kennedy assassination. Last year, the guy who got smoked in Ecuador, it was 63 days from his birthday on the day, leaving 144 days left in the year. But this is exactly what I said earlier. I said, I'll die if it's 144. Because, again, RFK Jr. got in the race exactly 144 days after the Superior General's birthday. His dad, RFK, was killed at 1:44 a.m. His uncle was killed 144 days from meeting with the Pope. This number's all over all kinds of assassinations throughout history, including Lincoln getting shot on 14/4. If you spell out the words April 4th, it equals 144. MLK was killed in a big Jesuit ritual on that day, on the 95th day of the year, in tribute to Martin Luther, who wrote the 95 Theses and brought about the Jesuits. Again, the first president to die in office died on that day. But yeah, if that is his name, Mark Violet, 144. The election's 144 days after Trump's birthday. They simulated, again, I've been talking about this since 2020. June 12th, 2020, Georgetown, the Jesuit University, had the Transition Integrity Project simulating that Biden would beat Trump. It was 144 days before the November 3rd election, but they simulated that Biden would beat Trump. Trump would refuse to step down, and it would lead to a deadly altercation. Hello, they're staged January 6th. Again, I lost my whole channel for accurately calling all that stuff out before it even happened, but it was all 144 then too. And don't forget, the Jesuits. Here's how big 144 is, you guys. Jesuit orders 144. The United States of America is 144. And if you look into the laws of this land, you'll see that it's really a corporation. And that's a whole other thing to explain, but that's another 144 word. But this 144 is massive, and that's why if this does end up being the shooter's name, it's not an accident. Mark Violet, that no doubt their Manchurian candidate for just the obvious. I mean,
it's
go ahead.
With an F at the end.
Oh, right here on
Mark
X, it says his
Violet
name,
with
Mark
an F at the
Violet.
end.
Mark Violet, like a shade of purple.
Yeah, but with an S at the end. Mark Violet.
Well, we'll see when they put it out. This one right here from X doesn't have that. It says the police department has identified him as Mark Violet. I just copied and pasted it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And Violet would make sense because it's a shade of purple. They've been doing purple stuff with Trump since forever. Here, go back to his convention in 2016. Look how the word purple is 88, like Trump, like Elizabeth. If you go back to 2016, he came out to Queen, We Are the Champions, and got criticized for it 88 days after Elizabeth's birthday. And purple has that 88. And Oprah's in the color purple. Oprah interviewed Trump in 1988 about if he'd want to be president someday. And, of course, Oprah equals 58. So does Oprah Winfrey. And then he went on to win the 58th election. After announcing from the 58-story Trump Tower. But I get the joke of Violet, too, because there's been a long purple theme with Trump. So I appreciate that. Thank you.
All right, thank you for having me on. I appreciate it.
Yeah. All right, take care. Okay, let's go out to 772. What's up, 772?
Hey Zach, what's up? I'm gonna be going live about this right now. Look into the Theodore Roosevelt assassination attempt that happened 111 years ago. I noticed that it happened on October 14th, 1912, the day leaving 78 days left in the year. The person who did it, they used a 38 call. It happened at the Gilpatrick Hotel, which equals 86. Theodore Roosevelt equals 86. I just wanted to throw that in there before I start my live stream. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's a good observation. I think Theodore Roosevelt's who's behind the monument in South Dakota with the president's faces, and of course Trump had that big ritual speaking there. I have to go back and look at that, but okay, that's interesting. The Rough Riders, Teddy Roosevelt. Okay.
Yeah, and also one of the witnesses, the supposed witnesses, he said that if you watch the NBC News thing with the supposed witness, he says that he he thought of it as a possibility that it would be the perfect place to assassinate him. Like it was such a. I'm gonna show it on stream. It was
again,
ridiculous,
it's important.
Yeah, anybody can go watch.
It's important that it happened in Milwaukee because
What?
it's important it happened in Milwaukee, the Theodore Roosevelt assassination, because the GOP convention starts this week in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. And again, the big UFC fight tonight, the star of it is from Milwaukee, and then Dana White, who runs the UFC, is going to be introducing Trump in a couple days when he speaks. And watch if Trump speaks for the first time at the convention on Tuesday, because that'll be 112 days before the election. And this year will be the 112th anniversary of Roosevelt getting shot on the day, leaving 78 days left in the air, like you said. Big number with this one. But Donald has that Gematria 112. You might recall the Cubs won the 112th World Series the year that he became president, and he took part of the Cubs front office for part of his cabinet. But yeah, that is really interesting. That's a good observation.
And Mark, thanks. Yeah,
90
Mark
seconds.
45, just like the Donald Trump 45th president. You know, the fall of the wall. Yeah, also that news interview. I'm gonna show it on my channel. People can go and watch my video after yours on Truth Does Not Exist. Yeah, that's all I had for today.
All right, appreciate it, buddy. Take care. Thank you.
Rest is on my stream. Okay, bye.
All right, yeah, his channel is called Truth Does Not Exist.
60 seconds.
That voice in the background, we'll do it at like 30 seconds. But yeah, this will be our last caller right here, 617 Boston area. Hey, Boston wins the finals on 617 in the 617 area code. What did this 617 caller think? What's up, 617?
Hi, I'm Julie from Brooklyn. I'm a Jewish girl. I'm just learning Hebrew. So for all the naysayers, I just really want to say that we don't understand, coming from the Queen's language, the alphabet. Hebrew, they really do use the Gematria in the code because it's just part of the Hebrew alphabet. Aleph is 1, Bet is 2, Gimel
10 seconds.
So they use it in like I mean, this is real stuff. This isn't like phony baloney. You like caught on to what the Hebrew language really, it goes in depth. It's deeper than the New Testament alludes to. But I also wanted to say, I just realized, I'm not political, but the whole Q thing, I don't know what that was all about, but I know that was a thing. Donald Trump, isn't he from Kew Gardens in Queens? And Q is spelled Kew. So I just wanted to mention that and to support the Gematria work that you do, because it's real stuff. It's real spiritual stuff. And when you code into numbers and then into words, you create the spiritual aspect of what's going on. So it's really a lot of, it's just creating it into our reality.
Yes, indeed. So I appreciate that.
Oh, you're welcome. Yeah. What's up, Zach? I'm so proud of you. Great work. Thank you.
Well, thank you. I appreciate you adding on to the show. You have a good rest of your day.
All right, we keep on listening.
All right.
Rock on, man.
All right, thank you. You take care.
Thank you.
Just to close out with this, again, Marilyn Manson had the ultimate predictive programming for his song, You Say God, I Say Satan, it shows a Trump assassination. It was popular at the time. I don't know if popular is the right word, but it was buzzing at the time of the 2016 election. Look at this, you guys. We've been saying we got to watch out what happens when Marilyn Manson turns 55 years old, because Satan and God equal 55. 55 is the 10th triangular number. God and Satan both also equal 10 as well. And the chorus is, when you say God, I say Satan. Again, the highest degree of the Church of Satan is mega. Trump really is about this mega Satan thing. That's why, again, Obama joked at the White House Correspondents' Dinner, April 30th, 2011, that Trump would be number 45. That was the Church of Satan's 45th birthday, 45 days before Trump's. Marilyn Manson's actually in the Church of Satan. Trump might very well be his... Again, the first tenet of Satanism is to worship yourself, and that's all Donald Trump does. But look at it, you guys. From his 55th birthday until today, the 191st day of his age. Look at assassination, 191. It's also 43. 191 is the 43rd prime. It goes with Baldwin's birthday on April 3rd. Again, the anniversary of him burying Brandon Lee after he's killed on the Crow. And again, today's 101 days after Baldwin's birthday. And it's 115 days before the election on November 5th, how all these things come together. Again, it's all a script. Notice how Satan in Gematria is 55 and 10. God is 55 and 10. The music video where Marilyn Manson says, when you say God, I say 10 with the number 10. Again, that the same time as the election. And now this, all these years later when he's 55 years old. Just think about it. He was 47 back then, the Trump president White House number. Now he's running on agenda 47. All right, last call. What's up, 301?
Hey, Zach, can you hear me all right?
I hear you. What's up?
Hey, I want to talk about what happened earlier. So I was watching the UFC, and the UFC's in Denver for the first time in 8 years.
We were talking about this, right?
It was the first fight of the night, and we know that Denver is a 303 area code and all that. But the first fight of the night happened, and after that fight, the fighter announced in his victory speech that he had heard Donald Trump just got whacked. Donald Trump almost got whacked in Pennsylvania. And the very next fight were two guys from Pennsylvania, one from Pittsburgh and one from Philadelphia. They fought each other. The guy from Pittsburgh ended up winning. What are the odds that the guy that won, he became 11 and 3? If you look up 11 and 3, it equals 138, like Donald Trump. And if you look into all of
Somebody shooting at you? What was that? Are you all right?
Hello?
It sounded like there were gunshots in the background. What's going on?
I don't know. For some reason, I'm getting a horrible connection all of a sudden.
Okay, but yeah, we were talking about, because again, Dana White at UFC is going to introduce Trump at the convention in a couple days. And the main fighter tonight in UFC is from Milwaukee, where the convention is. And, you know, so it's all connected. Trump just had the big election. You probably got here late, but I was talking about how it all connected with the court taking him off the ballot and then putting him back on, and the shooting there at that court, and then what happened today. So.
Yep, it's all connected. And there's like a bunch of fighters who, and then the very next fight after the guys from Pennsylvania was a girls' fight where the one was on the 88th day of her age and the other girl hadn't fought in 666 days. And but there's a lot of fighters. If you look up when the last time they fought, there's a bunch of them on this card tonight that haven't fought in 119 days.
Yeah, they last fought March 16th. Yeah, we did a big stream on today's fights on Patreon, man. So we're all over it. We know we were talking about all the parallels to UFC and the fights tonight before this shooting even happened.
Yeah. All right, man. Thank you for your time.
All right, yeah. Thank you. Yeah, you guys support the Patreon, man. It pays to support the Patreon. Again, here's the winnings of a student this week. And we've been doing this for years, you guys. We teach you how to turn a small bill into a big bill. This is one student this week. The week he had 24 into 344, 30 into 1,360, $25.10 into 7,730. I don't even know why he's throwing on like these 10 cents on his wager. He must be really into the numbers. $100 into 5,600. Again, it's how you call taking advantage of the scripts. Again, we're over here paying attention now. They're always saying you couldn't have scripted any better. We're seeing how the same numbers are lining up with the rig selection as they are with the sports game, and then we're getting ahead of the curve. Again, I started putting in the research. It's next month's going to be 11 years of doing this now. We're already almost the 11th anniversary. But yeah, again, this knowledge will help you with the market, crypto, sports, and not falling for all the bullshit like rigged elections and contrived news. And again, for all the Christians out there who think you're following, well, I'm Christian and I always vote red and Republican. You need to pull your head out of that. That's like your head's way up your ass. You're following a demonic party who inverted their stars like satanic pentagrams back in 2000. You got Donald Trump running on mega. People aren't even catching the jokes. Go back and watch the White House Correspondents' Dinner from April 30th, 2011 with Trump in attendance, where Obama jokes he'll be number 45, 45 days before his birthday, again on the 45th birthday of the Church of Satan. And then you guys think about that too, because his ex-wife died 45 years after their marriage. And you know what? Tomorrow is going to be the anniversary of her falling down the stairs and dying 2 years ago. Again, she died exactly 60 weeks into the first ever Jesuit Ignatian year, the same day Trump said he'd run in the 60th election. All right. We got a few more super chats. Thank you, John Mendoza. He says, Terrence Howard and Hustle and Flow yells out Yard 201. Yeah, they do definitely do those 201 shout outs in the world of entertainment if you're looking for them. Yeah, the 112th anniversary is the more interesting part because of Donald. Donald's got that 112 connection. Some 112s that can happen in those fights today in UFC as well. Or some 11 and 2s more like it. Will Max says, go to Musk's X. There's an interview with a guy with the BBC who said he saw and warned the Secret Service about the shooter. First timestamp of video shows 1901. T-shirt, guys. Isn't that funny? You posted this. I don't know. Had I shown the Marilyn Manson 191 thing? Maybe it's around the same time, but we've been looking at all this stuff all year, man. We've just been waiting for it all to come together. I've been documenting the rituals they've been doing to predict this bigger Trump assassination moment since they started comparing him to George Wallace back in 2016. George Wallace, the 45th governor of Alabama, 68. Daria, shout out to Daria, always with the great observations and generosity. She chipped in $20. She said, today is Harrison Ford's birthday, who plays the president in the upcoming Captain America. Recall when Trump won the election, he came out of the theme song of the movie Air Force One, where he also plays the president. Yeah, that's wild. Let's see. How old did Harrison Ford turn today? He turned 82. So turning 82 means he begins his 83rd year of life today. Election has that 83 connection, like Colorado, where the fight is, where it's not very often. Okay. And 83, fateful number. Remember, the word murder equals 83. The song Murder by Numbers by the Police came out in 1983. It's about how killing is the sport of the elected, and it's as simple as ABC is 1, 2, 3. Murder equals 83. Election 83. Leap year 83. In Colorado 83, where he got taken off the ballot and then put back on. There was a shooting at the courthouse in UFC there. All right, yeah, that's I'm sure that's part of it. They're always bringing Hollywood and the news together. Incredible. When's this new Captain America movie come out? Captain America movie release date. I remember they changed the name of this movie. It was going to be called something else. Now it's called Brave New World, like Aldous Huxley. You know, in light of them calling it Brave New World, remember Aldous Huxley died the same day that JFK was assassinated. Aldous Huxley wrote Brave New World. Died the same day as JFK. I don't think that's an accident. Oh, look at what day it's coming out. It's coming out on 2/14, like how JFK died in the 214 area code. Dallas. Again, the Parkland shooting on 2/14. Dallas, Parkland Hospitals where JFK died. Again, the Chiefs win the Super Bowl, have a shooting on 2/14. They started out as the Dallas Texans. Again, Trump stuck on 214 electoral votes when he got passed by Biden in 2020. Church of Satan 214, Ronald Reagan 214. How funny that movie comes, and it's coming out on the 45th day of the year too, right? Like Valentine's Day, like how this year on Trump's birthday they started to tear down Stoneman Douglas High School. And the day Jason Tatum got his 45th loss in the playoffs, the only one he lost in the finals. All scripted, all together. I think that's, if I'm not mistaken, I think that's 216 days from today, which is the Cleveland area code. Trump's trying to become the next Grover Cleveland, split-term president, had his convention in the 216. in Cleveland right after LeBron won the finals on the real King James's birthday. Last game in Cleveland that year was Game 6, 216 points in the game, going with the area code. Yeah, it is. It's 216 days till the movie comes out. Cleveland. Always doing two, again, just like Kamala's in Philly, the 267, 267 days after her birthday. Huh. Yeah, you know what else I just thought about with Ford? Just the whole Gerald Ford thing, the Gerald Ford prophecy. Harrison Ford. There's things that are interesting about that, but okay, I got to get off here. Sweet lady came home. I got to give her the attention. Shout out to 13 Serpents again. Thank you, 13 Serpents. Always with the generosity. All right. All right. Well, I think we got a good mix in there. Let's see if there, hold on, before I go, let's see if there's an update on this Mark Violet. If I write out his name, do we have, is it been confirmed? Mark Violet. Oh, when I search for it there, not a lot popped up. It's still just this thing on Twitter. This isn't an accident, though. If it ends up being some different name, I'm telling you, it's not an accident that they first leaked the name was Mark Violet. Just like I said, you guys, if you're watching the stream, I said I won't be surprised if the shooter's name equals 144. And the whole thing's just perfect. The 63 and 45, it's just like, come on, man. It's like the Celtics going up 63-35 in Game 1 in the Dallas-Boston series in tribute to the JFK assassination. Again, Porzingis had taken 38 days off. JFK, number 35, killed on I-35 in 1963. The first two games in Dallas, Kyrie drops 35, and then he gets a 63rd playoff win in the next game. They paid so many tribute to these same numbers. And again, Boston Celtics, 78. Kennedy, 78. 78th season. I might have forgot earlier to finish the hockey piece, just how the hockey team that won the Stanley Cup this year, the Panthers are right next to Parkland, Florida. And JFK died in Parkland. And again, the NBA and NHL playoffs both began on the 111th day of the year for the first time, 78th NBA season. Again, you guys are new here. This might overwhelm you, but you learn the code and you pay attention year after year. You'll see it's every year like this. Scripted sports, tributes to history, rigged elections, entertainment, synced up with the news. It might seem complicated, but it's the cabal. They're not dumb people. They're into this stuff. They think it's the code of God. They're playing God with it. They got everybody asleep at the switch. So yeah, I'll probably come back tonight when they confirm the shooter. I'm sure there's a whole lot more to this. But by the way, just to read about this Marilyn Manson thing, since it's perfectly synced. Marilyn Manson shared a brutal new clip from a music video for his song Say 10 on Election Day. In the clip, Manson pulls pages from a Bible and holds a bloody knife. Though the camera never shows any actual killing, the camera then pans to a beheaded man who bears a resemblance to Republican presidential candidate Donald Trump. Yeah, I mean, if you didn't know better, you'd think somebody got shot in the head the way they showed in the video. We were looking at it way back in 2016. Yeah, they always said, what are they going to do with Marilyn Manson? Election year, he's 55. All right, I got to wrap it up. We'll leave it there for now. Thank you to everyone who hits the like and the share. Thank you to everyone who supports the work. If the support can build back on the Patreon, which is linked in the description of every video, we might be able to get out and travel and pound pavement again. It takes resources to get this message out on the streets, but it should be because, again, you guys, for all the people who don't understand what we do, they just, they're in the past. This work is the future of humanity waking up because this exposes what's going on and who's doing it. And everybody else is like out to lunch, speculating on things, don't have it anywhere near figured out. We've had it figured out for a long time, you guys. We've been calling out things way before they happen in spades, life-saving knowledge, life-changing knowledge for a long, long time. And it just doesn't, it's because of all the censorship and deletion of channels that we're as small as we are right now. But people who are newer here, we used to have way more views. Like if this was when live streaming first came out back in the old channel, we'd have 10,000 people on this stream right now. Not even 1,000, but sadly, that's where we are. So anyway, we'll leave it there. Probably be back later once they give us the update. And if you guys have any great observations, leave a good comment. Anytime you leave a comment on my page, you should copy it before you paste it, because Google will instantly delete a lot of comments. It's just gone, like you wasted your 30 seconds typing it out. Copy it before you paste it. Again, you want to share a good comment, you can always go to freetofindtruth.com, free to use. There's an app for it, a community of people looking into this kind of information. It's not going to get deleted there. But if you do copy it and paste it, if it deletes it the first time, what I found is if you paste the comment back and post a second time, for whatever reason, it'll work the second time. So I've been dealing with that same thing on YouTube for years. And that's the trick that sometimes works for me. So anyway, have a good rest of your day. And until next time, Truth Seeker.